Today we're going to learn about focusing the topic. And this is a part of the ideas within your narrative mastery piece. There are 4 main points for focusing the topic that I'm going to give to you today. And these are kind of techniques or things to consider when you want to focus the topic of your story, whether that's fiction or nonfiction. First, you need to zero in on a small part of the big idea. 2, sum up your specific idea in one sentence. 3, choose details that support your idea. And 4, consider what the reader will need and want to know. Let's jump into the first one. Number 1, zero in on a small part of the big idea. And to do this, asking yourself questions is really helpful. For example, what specific aspect of the general topic or storyline interests you? Or, what is one small part of the topic or storyline that I can write about? Now, I want to show you a pre-writing activity that we'll use in class, which is called concentric circles. And it looks like this. It works both for fiction and nonfiction. And again, this is called concentric circles. Now, look at my cursor and notice that for fiction, I started with the general genre of fiction fantasy, knowing that I wanted to write that. And then I know I want to go into survival or apocalypse. But rather than going into the plot of what's happening, I'm focusing the topic, my theme of the story, which is community. So there's a specific part about surviving in the apocalypse that I want to focus on, which is community in my story. And I specifically want to focus on creating or finding community. And my focused topic is that it's very difficult but important. On the nonfiction side, I started with nonfiction and then focused in on history rather than like science or math. And then from history, the founding fathers, specifically Ben Franklin. And the part of Ben Franklin that I want to focus on is he was a humorist. And so in this way, we can use this pre-writing activity of concentric circles to help us focus in kind of like a target or a bullseye of a storyline or a nonfiction topic. Now, to help, again, with focusing the topic, it's good practice to sum up your specific idea in one sentence. Basically, what's the most important thing? And for my fiction piece, my main theme is this, that for all individuals, finding a new community is difficult but essential to living. Now, notice how similar this is to the books that we read in class. And I have my own theme that I want to come out in my writing for my readers. So just like Hinton or Zusick or Gary Paulson has themes, messages for their readers, I, as a writer, have a message for my readers. And that's this topic, this theme. In the same way for nonfiction pieces, Benjamin Franklin, a great American statesman, was known for his dry and clever humor. That would be my theme or my main focus topic for my piece of writing if it was nonfiction. Now, number 3, choose details that support your idea. And the question to ask here is, what kind of information or details will help me express my idea? What resources can I turn to? Now, for the nonfiction side of it, I want to capture how clever Benjamin Franklin was. So I'll need to quote some of his witty sayings in my paper, whether that means going to online or a book. I'd have to find some of those witty, dry humor sayings. For my fiction piece, because I want to focus on the difficulty of creating a community, I'll need to look into and find how new communities are even created, like whether through Google or books, and especially draw from my own experience of trying to create a new community. Those details, those resources will help me find the details to focus my topic. The last one is to consider what the reader will need and want to know. And these are the details that will help the reader understand my idea or my storyline. For my fiction piece, the reader will probably want to know about the main character and other characters, and especially how the Earth was destroyed, and how the individuals that are trying to survive in this apocalyptic storyline that I'm creating are surviving in the extreme situation. On the nonfiction side, I'll need to find how the readers will want to know how Franklin used humor to examine the social issues of the day, and how even today comedians imitate Franklin's folksy comedic style. So again, asking yourself what the reader would want to know can help you focus your topic as you're writing about it. Now again, in review, when you focus the topic, you have this big idea that you found, but you want to zero in on one part of that big idea. Now you can sum up your specific idea in one sentence. That would be best, whether that's your theme, if it's a fiction piece, or if it's a nonfiction piece, what's your thesis statement or your claim, your main point of that nonfiction piece. 3, choosing details that help support your idea, whether that's finding resources and where to get it, whether it's from your own experience for a fiction piece, or maybe books and Google research sites for a nonfiction piece. And then also asking what the reader will need and want to know in order to understand your theme or the main claim of your paper. So these are the 4 main things to consider when you focus the topic. Well, wait, Mr. Araujo, you might be asking yourself, how is focusing the topic different than finding a topic? Well, wait no longer. Focusing the topic is where the storyline is crisp or has a narrowed theme. Just like in the example before, right? I'm creating my own theme, an idea that I want to communicate to readers. Finding a topic more has to do with your plot, the events, in general, what it's about. So whether that's for fiction or nonfiction, it's clear that it's about, dogs, or it's clear it's about Benjamin Franklin. But focusing the topic is where it's a clear, narrowed theme, like Benjamin Franklin was a comedian, or community is important and necessary. Also, focusing the topic means that the storyline is manageable and specific, or that the theme is manageable and specific. There's not like thousands of different characters, but there's a specific, maybe 1 or 2 or 3 specific storylines that are manageable within the context of a book. Or maybe even that you are spending enough time to create the manageable storyline. Now, for finding a topic, the difference here is that when you find a topic, it's like an original story. It's a fresh take on an old theme. So rather than being manageable and understandable, when you find a topic, it's something that's new and fresh and original. So that's the difference between a focused topic and just finding one. Is you can find a topic and it be unfocused, but you can't really focus the topic if you haven't found one. So for your narrative pieces, for your writing, make sure that you are not only finding a topic, but that you're focusing in, you're zeroing in, kind of like a bullseye or a target, focusing in on that theme or storyline.